I guess what we should go from there. Have another meeting specific to this topic when that data is available, and maybe we can get Mike on the call as well, so that we can give him that comfort he's looking for.
Okay. Thanks, Charles. Okay, if no other topic, we can hang up. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.
Thanks,
Right.
bud.
Thank you. Have a good day.
MAGA voter goes, it should be illegal for Muslims to have opinions. Their politicians go, oh, what a good idea. We're going to go ahead and add that to the mandatory racism section of our new shadow constitution. And they all high five. Meanwhile, when a progressive goes, hey, shouldn't we at least try to do something to obstruct this regressive Christo-fascist agenda? Our politicians go, well, we would, but we don't want to be the ones to ruin the vibe, you know. Plus, our donor said we couldn't do it. By the way, you have to agree with us on that, or it means you hate the Jews. All that, yeah, well, I'm about done with all that. I think I'm about done with the Democratic Party, at least the version of it that's represented by Captain Capitulation, Chuck Schumer, and all of his moderate, milquetoast, neoliberal, boot-licking buddies. Right? Like, I don't even want to look at Chuck Schumer's face anymore. All right? I don't like. Why is his glasses so low? Push your glasses up, you traffic cone. For me, last week, the Senate Dems caving was kind of a point of no return, because for most of the Trump era, my position has been that the left couldn't afford to be divided right now, that progressives and moderates need to come together and stand against fascism, right? But that didn't work. We lost, which is particularly embarrassing considering this time around the fascists are very stupid. But still, we lost again. And so now it's time for the Democrats to do what every perennial loser eventually has to do, a top-down rebuild, all right? We keep a few key franchise players, AOC, Crockett, Walls. We let Bernie stay on as a senior offensive consultant. Other than that, we blow it all up, clean house. I mean, that's what the right did 15 or so years ago. American conservatives looked around and said, wait, the GOP lost to a black guy? That's completely unacceptable. We got to overhaul the whole party into something that represents us as a people, something way dumber, way meaner, right? And by God, that's exactly what they did. Along came the Tea Party, and before you know it, MAGA, and look at them now. Because by God, they don't stand for this sort of thing over there. No, sir, no. If a GOP politician shows even a hint of sanity, if they seem at all in touch with reality, if they even know what the word empathy means, MAGA kicks their ass straight to the curb, buddy. Have fun reading and being gay, loser. You got to go. That's what they do. And I'm sorry, but I think it might be time that the left takes a page out of MAGA's book. I mean, obviously they wouldn't be caught dead with a book, but you know what I mean. It's time for the left's version of a Tea Party movement, all right? The Kombucha Party movement. I'm just kidding. Please, for the love of God, do not call it the Kombucha Party. I don't know what you call it, but we need a paradigm shift. All right, every old school banking, Israel-loving, stuffed shirt Democrat needs to be primaried into oblivion too damn sweet, okay? They do. It's past time for it to happen, y'all, because we need to get some teachers and community organizers and union reps in there, people that'll fight for regular Americans and our kids in the future and for what's right, people who will fight, period, people who understand that it's pointless for a frog to reach across the aisle when the only thing on the other side is scorpions, especially when all the scorpions are racist. Like, it just has to happen. Schumer and them have got to go, okay? Because right now, Trump and Musk and MAGA are hurling bad idea Molotovs all over our democracy. And when the smoke finally clears, there ain't going to be no place for the feckless cucks that helped them light the rag. That's all I'm saying. All right, YouTube, back with more in just a second, but I'm going to let you know that these here stray thoughts of mine are once again brought to you by the good folks at Private Internet Access, the world's most trusted VPN provider with over 30 million downloads. Why do you need a VPN? Here's a fun reason. VPNs can make it appear as though you're logging on from any country on Earth, which means you can check out that country's version of Netflix if you want to. You know, they got Rick and Morty on Netflix in other countries. We ain't got that here. That's just for starters. There's more serious reasons, too. All right, it's dark days in these digital streets. You got all these nefarious hackers and governmental types trying to invade your privacy, get your data, but PIA's VPNs can hide your IP address and encrypt your internet connection, thus shielding you and your online privacy from the prying eyes of all these shady internet types. Okay, their VPNs are available across all platforms, and now you can use one PIA account to safeguard all of your devices. Got every device in my household on my PIA account. Works like a charm. All right, so if you like the sound of that, here's what you do. You click the link in the description below to check out PIA today for 83% off and 4 months free. Signing up always includes 24/7 customer support and a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what more do you need to hear? If you think any of that sounds overly techie or whatever, it's not. Look, there's the app, there's the button. You just push the button, and just like that, it's on, it's done. It couldn't be simpler. So try Private Internet Access today. All right, YouTube, and we're back. Yes, it was a damn shame what happened last week. I guess Chuck Schumer, he got a group of enough Democrats together to cave to MAGA with no concessions whatsoever, because he felt that the only alternative was to let the government shut down, which would play right into Trump's hands. See, if the government shut down, that would mean that Trump would be able to do whatever he wants, and things would get even worse. So Chuck felt he had no recourse left but to capitulate and preserve the status quo. You know, the status quo wherein Trump does whatever he wants and things get worse every day. That status quo. Yeah, masterfully played, Chuck. Sure, you could have demanded that they include some protections and provisions for everyday Americans and the programs that provide for them. And whenever they told you no, you could have let them blow it all up and tell the American people, scream it from the mountaintops, say, look, they'd rather destroy the government than do anything to help you. You could have done that. You could have done that, or literally anything to show even the tiniest semblance of opposition to the most regressive and destructive policies that we've ever seen in living memory. You could have done that, but no, Chuck, no, you are a man of principle. Sure, that principle is cowardice, but cowardice still counts as a principle, But yeah, no, they don't even want to hear it either. They know people are mad at them, and look what they're doing. Chuck and his buddies, they're canceling book tours. They're turning off their voicemail inboxes because they know that the recalcitrant plebes that they were elected to represent are upset with them, and they feel entitled to not have to deal with that. Well, I think that's a bunch of bullshit. I'm tired of these people who think that they've been put there because they're better than everybody and know what's right and don't have to listen to what their own constituents think. I'm just tired of them not doing shit ever. Can you imagine just having a party that actually represented your values and worked to further them? Is that too much to ask, really? Is that beyond the realm of possibility to hope, to dream that one day we could perhaps have something like that on the American left? I'm just tired of it. And it's not, and look, I'm like, credit to all, there's plenty of other Democrats still in there that are doing a fine job and aren't down with this. The House, they held it together generally. Not a fan of Jeffries. It's just a lot of the old guard has got to go. We need to turn it over to some new blood, to some people that actually have the best interest of Americans at heart. And I don't think there's ever been a better time to do it than right now. Again, I've said before, the stakes are too high. It's too risky. We can't blow everything up. Well, we're kind of in a how much worse could it really get sort of situation right now. I know that's famous last words, but if you're the Democratic Party, what are you going to do? Be even more of a minority? No, let's shake things up, man. It's time. Write them, call them, protest them. Most importantly, primary them. Show them that they got to get with the times and get the hell out. That's what I think. But, what do I know? Listen, thank you guys for watching. Got exciting news. These squares and boxes up here. If I can figure out how to do it, and I think I can, this one should be my new comedy special. That's right, new one. Not same old. New one called Trash Daddy that I'm very pumped about. I hope you'll check that out. These other boxes, same as they've been. Subscribe to the channel, see all these videos and all my podcasts and other things I do. And the most important one to me is Trey Crowder.
Please make a lot of noise for Trey Crowder!
Well, shit. Glad to be here in Dallas. I'm glad to be at a comedy club. We're not always. Sometimes we do weird things. Like earlier this year, I did stand up at a lawyers conference in Miami, and I don't know why either. I guess they were like, this guy's got felons in his family. He knows lawyer stuff probably. So I did this lawyers conference. It was fine because honestly, there was a point in time in my life where I thought I might want to be a lawyer when I grew up because I had somehow got it in my head that lawyer is one of the only white collar jobs you can have when you talk like a racist banjo, right? Like I don't know if it's because of Atticus Finch or Matlock or what it is, but for some reason, people are okay with Southern lawyers. You know what I mean? It's all right to be a Southern lawyer. And I could see myself doing that as a kid. Like, I could see myself walking into court in a seersucker suit, just dabbing the prodigious whiskey sweat from my brow, like, from my grandpappy's handkerchiefs, so, setting it down, hitting them with some old-timey nonsense. Like, Your Honor, if you think my client's going to spend one more night in the hoosgow, you crazy as a gravy-covered cat in a barnyard full of bloodhounds, you is. The jury's just like, this guy's too dumb to be duplicitous. I inherently trust this man. Not guilty, right? I could see that, but no, as it turns out, I'm not but a simple giggle monger as things happen. But yeah, I was in Miami in February, and right before that, I did stand up in Phoenix in January, and those two experiences combined led me to developing this new sociological theory I've been working on this year. And my theory is this: I think that the hot sun makes white people go insane. That's what I think happens. Because you think about all the parts of this country where the white people are the craziest, it's where the sun is the hottest, It's like, It's like out west, it's Arizona. East of the Mississippi, it's the entire American South, you know, and even within the South, the maxim holds true. The further south you go, the hotter the sun is, the crazier the crackers are, right? Like you start out in Kentucky, Virginia, it's not so bad. You get to Alabama, it's like, ugh, and then you wind up in Florida, and they're throwing alligators through drive-through windows and shit. These motherfuckers are crazy. You ain't supposed to be like that. I think it's the hot sun. I do think the hot part is important. I say that because I live in Southern California, and then like there's plenty of sun out there, but it's not hot for most of the year. For most of the year, it's like sunny and 72. And like the white people in LA, they're delusional, but they're not scary though, right? Like it's a different type of crazy. You know what I mean? But you leave LA, you start driving out east into the desert, they start to turn, man. They do like that. Like next thing you know, you're driving by Uncle Shooty's biker shop and Nazi stuff emporium. It's like, oh, this ain't good. Worrisome. I don't even think it has to be prolonged exposure to the hot sun. I think if the sun is hot enough, the effect can be acute in nature. Like, I think white people in the hot sun are like werewolves in the moonlight. Like, it just brings the monster out of us, you know? Like, you could take the most white bread, milk toast data analyst from Kalamazoo, you send him to Las Vegas for a weekend conference. By Sunday, he's standing out in the middle of the strip with his dick out like, fuck you, Spank! I bet the house at the roulette table and I don't give a fuck. It fucks us up, man. That's why I'm so worried about this recent trend of like white dude bros sunning their taints and stuff. Like I said, that's a real thing. Fox News talked about Tucker Carlson, did a whole segment on it. It's a real thing. It's a real thing they're doing. They're like purposefully exposing their buttholes and their genitals and their taints and stuff to concentrated UV lights for like power-up purposes or something. And there's nothing good's gonna come out of that, man. Nothing. I'll tell you, you take a heavily bearded alpha male going through a divorce, he starts sunning his taint, next thing you know, Proud Boys. That's what happens. That's how the Proud Boys started. It's a problem. I don't think it's just an American problem, though. I think this is a global phenomenon. Like, for example, if you think about like England, right? Like in England, the sun is a myth, right? It's very gray, rainy. And you could say English white people, they've been evil and colonially over the years, but they're not crazy, though. No, they're not. They're very prim, proper, buttoned up, yes, quite. That's how they are. But you take England, leave it in the hot sun for a couple hundred years, bam, Australia. That's what you get. Australia, aka the Florida of Oceania. Dude, I love Australians. They're a lot of fun, but they're down there fist fighting kangaroos and using the word like a punctuation mark. This shit ain't normal. You ain't supposed to be like that. I think it's the hot. And there's one thing you can bring up to give me some issues with this. You could be like, well, Trey, what about like Russia, right? Russia, they got all them white people, no hot sun, crazy as a shithouse rat. How do you explain that, right? There's a couple ways of looking at that. You could look at that as like, yeah, my theory's dead in the water before we even get started. Or you can look at that as like, what if that's just their baseline, you know? It's like, what if that's just their starting point? Like, imagine what might happen if we expose Russia to the hot sun for a while. Like, that's the real danger of climate change right there. We don't all start recycling more. It's going to be Mad Max and Adidas tracksuits in no time. Like I said, I live in Southern California. It's fine for the most part. My accent is a problem for me out there. Like, I found out there this accent can fuck up any words. Like, it don't matter how smart the words might be, this accent will fuck them up, you know? Like you could take a famous quote like John Lennon's, "Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans." You say that to people in any other accent, they're like so profound, such wisdom. But you say it in my accent, "Life's what happens when you're busy making other plans." Oh no, he's not gonna tell us his plans, is he? I don't want to hear this guy's plans. They probably involve truck nuts and tiki torches. This is bad. Let's get out of here. Like, best case scenario is maybe I come across as folksy. You know, like, folksy's the best you can hope for when you talk like this. And my people got all these little sayings and phrases that help with that perception, especially if you're from the middle of nowhere like I am. But even that's not always great. You know, like I'll be at some party in LA, we run out of beer, and I'm like, well, guess somebody better ride into town, pick up some more. And they're just like, ride into town? What, are we out of sorghum? Has Molly took the fever?
Welcome to the audio conferencing center. Please enter a conference ID followed by pound. If you're the meeting organizer, press star now. Please enter your PIN and then press pound.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Hi, good morning.
Let's see who we got here. Let's give it a couple minutes and see if Alex joins from Stellantis. Okay. Well, I guess let's go ahead and get started here. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, I'm mobile right now, so just trying to work off my phone. Hopefully, this is coming across okay. First one here. We were gonna review if there's any program timing impacts due to the lead J4U program, at least on the ICE filler cap, because that program delay. What are the impacts to the HD program. Andreas, did you get an opportunity to look into any of these details?
Yes, so what currently is open is the vent housing tool, and that should be done in CV19, but we have to put the time we lost since the stop on top. So let's say we are stopping this project for 3 weeks, we have to put another 3 weeks on a CV19. But in general, that doesn't affect our part. We are also open on 2 other parts which are necessary for the filler for this project. But they are close to be done, so this will affect definitely also. So we need just another 1 week or 2 weeks for finishing this tool, and but also here we have to put the stop time, let's say, on top of the
Okay.
yeah of the finish day.
Yep. No, that makes sense to me. So what was the first component that you mentioned? Was it like the vent something?
Hold on. So what? Yes, so we have to the vent house, the gray vent house. The other ones are COP. The gray vent house without venting holes. That's what we have in, or what is necessary.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. I think I'm good with that one. All right, next one here is about the Rep B cap design, and getting a hold of the additional tether plus cap assemblies. Let's see. So, did we get additional assemblies sent to Stellantis yet for this?
Not ready to ship them. This will be done by this week. But we also wanted to show Stellantis about the curved and the straight one.
We have some different.
Yeah.
So we have some different options to show. We discussed last week. So if it's okay, I would shortly present.
Yeah.
It's just one page.
Absolutely.
Showing some pictures. So mainly, this is a portfolio we have. So in any cases, we have this ring. For these tethers, the ring is not shown, but here we can see this is I think it's a Stellantis known version with this plug included. Then we have, for instance, a curved version with a clip included, a straight version which is supplied with or without clip, depends on the customer. So we can add this clip here as well. Or there is something in between. This is a little straight and curved combined. There were in production. They are not in production anymore, but we have like a zigzag version. So there's nearly everything you can imagine which has been or is somewhere in production. This overview is just to give you an idea what's possible.
Okay. Could I get you to send me this to an email, and
Yes, sure.
I'll share this with Alex offline and see what his feedback is.
So what we have going to do is, should we wait with the delivery of the samples until Stellantis know what version they are going to be used, or should we send them out and
I would
and wait off?
I would prefer to send him out. Now I think that Stellantis really wants to get their hands on him to do like physical evaluation on their fuel door housing, and I would send out
Okay.
the physical samples.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm just looking through our list here. I think those are. The only other open point that I had for today was the component validation plan that was shared. I did get some feedback from Stellantis. Mike Barcon and Alex typed up some notes and emailed them to me. I haven't had a chance to read through those yet, but I'll send out a copy of that to the Blau team for feedback also.
Okay.
I think that's really all I had for today. Rodolfo, any other points from Stellantis' side that you want to touch on?
So as soon as we get samples, I think that we'll be ready to make a decision on the trip. But other than that, I'm okay.
Okay. Any other questions, comments from the Blau team?
Not from my side.
Can you estimate when we can expect a feedback regarding the validation plan?
Yes, I will send that to you today.
Today, okay, good.
Yeah, and if we need to have a meeting with the Stellantis team to review any of that, just let me know, and I'm happy to arrange that. All right. Well, I guess if there is nothing else, we can close the meeting a few minutes early today.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Great. Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Molly took the fever? Why are you saddling up, cowboy? We'll just DoorDash it. And obviously the number one concern with this accent is with this accent, you're on permanent racism probation, right? Like it's a zero strike rule. People will default to racism every time, no matter what you actually meant. And when you couple that with all those little country ass sayings we have, it's a fucking minefield, dude. It is. I find myself thinking all the time, I'm like, that's not a racist phrase, right? That's just a southern, that's just like an old country phrase. There's nothing racist about that phrase, right? But you never know for sure with those old timey phrases like that. So I'll psych myself out about it. I'll be in LA and somebody's like, hey, you talked to Jeremy lately? I'm like, dude, I ain't seen Jeremy in a squirrel's age. You know, squirrels live a really long time. Everybody's always talking about that and stuff. That's all I meant. I try to make myself feel better by telling myself it's not a southern accent thing, it's an American accent thing. Like the idea that any thick regional American accent can sound kind of dumb, not just this one, you know? Like if you go to the doctor to get some test results back, yeah, you don't want this accent from the doctor. I know, you don't, right? You don't. But you also don't want some meatball from the Bronx. You know, like, listen, it is what it is, you got stage 4 cancer, what are you gonna do? No, what are you gonna do? I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna take your fucking chemo, you're gonna take your radiation, you're gonna kick cancers out. Actually, I didn't want a Bronx doctor, I take that back. That sounds pretty inspiring, actually. But like if you're on a plane in the Midwest and the pilot comes on like, okay, got a little snow system up here, just gonna scooch right by there, don't you know? No whoopsie-daisies today, no sir, gonna be a hoot. A hoot? What am I in a fucking Coen Brothers movie right now? Like, people ain't supposed to talk like that. I think even a thick California accent can sound dumb. And if you don't know what I mean by thick California accent, I'll explain myself with one sound. Not a word, a sound. That shit sounds pretty dumb. But no, I live in fear in LA of coming across as racist accidentally just because of my accent, you know, but I'm also out there being a comedian, which means I go on auditions and stuff, and it turns out when you're a white dude with this accent, you will audition exclusively to play racist. That's how that works. Dude, you can make a compilation reel of my audition tapes that would make Paula Deen blush, dude. Like, it's brutal. Brutal every time. Open up this new audition, it's like, oh, this is a fun premise with a talented director and a stacked cast. Let's see, I'm reading for the role of Billy Ray. This should be fun. Let's see what this is like. Then I open it up and every time it's like, Billy Ray sits alone at the dining room table skinning a rattlesnake. Suddenly, a knock at the door. Billy Ray gently places the knife on the nearby nightstand next to the neatly folded Klan robe. God damn it. Every fucking time. It's never the hillbilly with a heart of gold, dude. Ever. It's always, and then I don't get that role, and I don't know how to feel about that, you know, because I'm conflicted. Because part of me is like, Trey, that's good. That says something good about you. That they can't see you as genuinely being that type of vehement racist, you know. But the other part of me wants to get these jobs. Is like, you don't think I could be in the Klan? I could be in the Klan right now, goddamn. My granddad was in the Klan, motherfucker. You don't know. I'm just kidding. He was. I mean, as far as I know, he wasn't. I don't know. He did keep a lot of secrets, but yeah. And then months later, that TV show or movie will come out, and that role is played by like a British or Australian guy, and that fucks me up even more. Because like one of the biggest things in Hollywood right now is representation. The whole like, if you got a gay character in a movie, it should be played by a gay actor. That whole thing. And they take that shit very seriously too, for the most part. They do. They're taking it so seriously. At this point, it feels like if you got a script with a paraplegic protagonist in it, you better hope somebody at Juilliard gets hit by a fucking bus. Because otherwise, they're going to be upset with you. People are going to write some articles about you. That's how seriously they're taking representation, yet all the redneck characters are played by classically trained Shakespearean Brits, you know? Like, Netflix has got a project set in deep Appalachia. The director calls cut, and half the cast is just like, tea time, is it? You know, must admit it is taxing portraying these hill people for hours on end, but as an artist, I ask myself, what would the hill person do? How would the hill person feel after the loss of their beloved pet opossum? What would they...
Pet opossum.
Would they mourn the loss, or would they simply eat the beast? What would they do? Right? But if you look it up, you can find articles that explain why they do that. You find these articles that tell you, well, you know, linguistically speaking, the British accent is actually very close, phonetically, to the American Southern accent. That's why those actors are so adept at portraying those roles. I'm like, oh, that's fascinating. You know who else is adept at that? Actors from the South. Probably also pull it off, I bet. That's what they say is happening, but here's what I think is really going on. I think those studio executives are having meetings going over upcoming projects, and their assistant is like, this one's got a gay protagonist. I got the perfect gay actor. This one's got some biracial characters in it. I got a whole list of tremendously talented biracial actors. This next one's got some redneck characters in it. Yeah, I don't know if our insurance is going to cover that. That might present some liability concerns. We might need to go to Plan B. Let's see, redneck characters. Is Benedict Cumberbatch available? Because you know, linguistically speaking, I like that bit, 'cause it's sort of like at the end of the day, I'm just up here like any other redneck comedian. Like, these goddamn immigrants are taking our jobs. But it's not surprising, you know, if you spend time on the coast, they have a very low opinion of the red states or the southern states out there. You know, they think the whole South is just crazy racist. And I mean, yeah, sure. Sure, but we're not the only ones. Like, racism's an American problem. That's what bothers me about it. You know, like, I'll talk to people in LA sometimes. They know I'm from the South. They want to know. They're like, you're from there. Be honest. That type of institutional racism. Tell us about that. I'm like, why are you asking me about it when the LAPD is right there? Like, LA's got a totally clean slate racially. I'm sorry, I forgot. The NWA stood for nice, we're appreciated. You remember Ice Cube and all their album covers? Just, things are great out here. No, LA's got their own shit to worry about, racially speaking, and it's not all ancient history either. It still crops up sometimes. Like last year, there was this LA city councilwoman. She got caught on tape just putting on a racism clinic for the whole world to see. And dude, it was wild. She was racist against like 8, 9 different types of people. Like, there was Alabama papaws taking notes during this shit. They were like, is that a new slur? Write that down. She made me realize something I never thought of before, which is like, yes, the South has more racists and more racism, generally speaking, but I'm now convinced that if racism was a sport in a one-on-one, an LA racist could absolutely hang with an Alabama racist because of the versatility of their game. You know what I mean? They got more tools in their bag. You know, like an Alabama racist, they're real solid in the fundamentals. You know, like black people, Mexicans, the gays. When it comes to that, they'll sit in the pocket, they'll find a rhythm, they can go all day long. Most of them never even met a Jewish person, but they've heard enough to be dangerous, right? They got a puncher's chance if that comes up. But beyond that, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? This lady was racist against Armenians. Papaws ain't got the skill set for that. Papaws can't spell Armenian, man. I'm just saying, if it was a heavyweight championship racism bout, the Papaw be in the corner sitting on a stool, shaking his head, just like, she's throwing shit at me I've never seen before, man. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, it's a wild time in this country. Things are very divided. Things are weird right now. It makes it hard to be optimistic about things. People ask me that question all the time. They're like, how do you have any kind of optimism considering the world we live in? And for a long time, I didn't have any real answer for them. For a long time, I was just like, get drunker. I don't know. It's bad. bad. But now recently, thanks to my wife, I have discovered an answer to that question. I'm not saying y'all are going to like this answer, but I do have an answer to that question. I now feel if you want to feel generally positive about the current state of the United States of America on a global cultural scale, what you need to do is you need to watch 90 Day Fiance on TLC, because you watch that shit and you realize America must be doing something right, dude. Because